Let's solve a problem where we have to use multiplication or division of fractions in order to do the word problem. If you are taking notes, pause the video to copy down the problem. I hope you already have the steps in problem solving in your head or in your notes. All right, first thing I'm going to do, understand the problem. I'm going to read it twice. Covidia stacks 5 boards on top of each other. Each board is 1 3/4 inches thick. How high is the stack of boards? Now, to understand the problem, I have to get the question and what information I know. So I'm going to read it again. Covidia stacks 5 boards on top of each other. Each board is 1 3/4 inches thick. I've already gotten 2 pieces of information. 5 boards, 1 3/4 inches. How high is the stack of boards? There's my question. So I have done these steps. Now I need to plan. So when I plan, I start thinking about keywords and thinking about what operation I'm going to do. So I have of, each. Now these two are not really talking about the numbers. They're not talking about the items I'm using. They're not really going to be what I use to decide how to solve this problem. This each usually means that I am going to multiply or divide. Now this is one of those problems that you really need to think about the total, the number of groups, and the number in each group. And let's look at the question really carefully. How high is the stack of boards? Now, what this is really asking is how high is the whole or total stack of boards? So my whole is going to be my total. So that's my X value. That's the one I need to find out. Now, I have 5 groups of boards. And each one, so the number in each group is 1 3/4 inches. And I want to keep track of those units. Now, whenever I am trying to find my total, I can multiply these numbers. So I'm going to do 5 times 1 3/4 equals, and that's 5/1 times 7/4, which is going to equal 35/4. Now, how would we figure out 35/4? We're going to have to simplify that. 4 goes into 35 8 times. That makes 32, so I have 3 left over. So 8 3/4, and what were my units? Inches. So that's my answer. So I have planned by looking at all the keywords and deciding that I'm missing my total. I've solved it. Now I need to see, did I answer the question? How high is the whole stack of books? It's 8 3/4 inches. Yes, I answered that question. Does it make sense? We're going to check this 2 different ways. One is that we started with 5 boards, and each board is going to be more than 1 inch thick. So it's going to be more than 5, but it's less than 2 inches thick, right? So it's going to be between 5 and 10 inches. Is my answer between 5 and 10 inches? Yes, it is. Now let's look at another thing, and we could have done this at the beginning in order to solve our problem. Let's make a picture. Let's draw a picture. There's one board. We're going to stack another board. We're going to stack a third board. 4, 5 boards. So this is 1 3/4, 1 3/4. All of them are 1 3/4 inches. Now when we have 1 fourths inches 5 different times, that's 5 times 1 3/4. So it makes sense that the problem we did works. You could have done that at the very beginning before you started trying to solve it, because sometimes drawing the picture will help you to see which operation you need to do. Now, if you're taking notes, make sure that you draw this picture in your notes.